All right, so I'm going to attempt to remove the rust on these Milwaukee wire strippers. You can see they had better days, so they're pretty well rusted. So I'm going to let them soak in vinegar and see if it works. So we'll let it soak now, and then I'll be right back. This is after a few hours so far. You can see it's already working. I'm going to let it soak overnight. All right, it's the next day. This is still bubbling. There's still a little bit left on it. So I'm gonna let it soak a little bit longer. All right, it's time for me to pull these pliers out. We're just over 24 hours and it's still bubbling, but I think it pretty much attacked all the rust. So I'll take it out and let's take a look. Okay, so I got rid of the vinegar solution. Now I'm gonna mix up some baking soda. I just happen to have some baking soda like this brand, but you can use the regular Harmon Hammer stuff. I'm gonna put a couple tablespoons in some water to help neutralize it. Acid from continuing to work on the metal. So I'm gonna first rinse off the pliers and scrub it with a wire brush. I'm gonna get this stirred up and ready to go. This is what they look like for now. I'm gonna take a wire brush to it. And here's what they look like now. All the rust is gone. There's a little bit left on this handle. I'll scrub a little bit more on here. Look pretty good. It's the baking soda solution. Like, is it necessary? I'm not sure, but I've heard from others it's good practice to do just to help prevent further corrosion on the metal then and help neutralize the acid. So I just dunked them in there and I'm gonna swish it around a little bit in the solution. It should be enough to help neutralize it. Now I'm gonna let them sit out and dry for a few hours, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna coat it with a silicone spray. That way it'll help prevent it rusting in the future, which is a good practice to have silicone spray to continuously coat your tools to help prevent it. And obviously I didn't do it with these, so but I'm gonna start from now on. So I'll be right back. So while the other pair is drying, I found another pair of scissors that I had in the garage, and they're obviously rusted as well. So while I'm waiting for the other ones to dry, I'm going to go ahead and treat these as well, and I'll get back to you on these. So again, it's just regular white distilled vinegar. It's cheap stuff. It's not any name brand. It's just the grocery store brand. Of course, if you have a lot of tools to do, you could just get like a different container where you're able to just put the tools in totally and just do multiple ones at the same time, which I ended up having to put them in a different container here, a little bit wider mouth. I didn't have to fill up this jar all the way because the scissor handles was outside of here, so otherwise I would have to fill up the whole jar with vinegar. So that way this uses a less. It just soaks the part that needs to be soaked. And I just found some garden shears too, so I'm going to soak these as well. As you can tell, they're pretty well pitted along here. So we'll try these out as well. I'm going to do it in the same container as the scissors here. All right, so here's a lesson learned of after rinsing in with the baking soda water. Is don't let it air dry, because as soon as you do, this is what happens. This is called flash rust. So I realized I came back about an hour later to let it air dry, and this is what happened. It has like a little gold hue to the metal now, and this apparently is what's common if you just let it air dry after doing this type of treatment. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it again with the wire brush. I'm going to use a heat gun to help dry it off right away, and that way I'm going to apply a coating of the silicone spray. Do not use regular WD-40 because that invites dust and dirt and debris into the joints of the tool, makes it be more of a sticky residue to it, versus the silicone will dry, and it's a dry. It does waterproof the materials, and it protects against rust as well. So be sure to pick up silicone spray itself. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wash this off again and try it again. Of course, it'll probably be easier if you use a smaller wire brush versus the one I'm using currently. So now I'll take a towel or paper towel to help dry it off initially. And this might be good enough just to dry it off, but I'm going to go an extra step and use a heat gun to help heat it up and drive out any moisture that's left inside these little joints. So you can see I got rid of the flash rust just by scrubbing it. All right, so now I'm going to take the heat gun. Check it over, make sure it looks all dry. Okay, now I'm going to spray it down with some silicone spray. And be sure to shake the can. I know I'm going a little excessive as far as the amount that I'm applying. I just want to make sure it's nice and coated well, so it creates that nice barrier to prevent the rust from forming again. I live in Florida, so it's very humid air here, and obviously the flash rust is a real thing. Doesn't take long. I think that's pretty good. All right, still soaking the other tools, but this is what it's like now. Just kind of wipe off the excess silicone spray. That lock just wants to lock in place there. Before I had a hard time even moving this, so just what an improvement that is. All right, very good. So what they look like now. And I'll bring you back when I'm done with these other tools. All right, it's the next day for these tools. They've soaked in just over 24 hours, and now I'm going to clean them up and treat them with silicone spray. So I'm going to take it out of the vinegar, rinse it off, and then I'm going to dip them in the baking soda bath. I did get a smaller brush to scrub it with, so we'll give it a shot. Let's see what it's like. Just give them a quick clean. They turn black there. All right, now I'm just going to take a towel and dry them off. They have a lot of black residue on it. I wasn't even able to move this locking lever before. Now it just freely moves around, which is nice. That's great. It caused like some blacking to the metal, so it's rubbing off on the towel. We'll hit it with the heat gun to help dry it off a little bit more. Now I'll coat them with some of the WD-40 silicone. All right, so that's a success. It does lock in place again, which is great. So obviously it works on these tools. It should work for yours. If they're really bad, just let them soak longer. They say I have my tools back now. Like I said, you need to recoat it with the silicone spray after whenever you use it, or every few months, just depending on where you're at, to help prevent the rust from building up again. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate if you give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more DIY tips, tricks, and reviews, as well as tool deal videos. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.